This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, I can do bad all by myself. All right, let's get right to it. So we got more than one definition, I believe. So we're going to get the definition from, let's go to the ladies first, because a little fun fact, women are fond of using this term, I can do bad by myself. Y'all use it far more often than the man. So let's get the perspective from the woman first. Patsy, what does that term mean to you? I can do bad all by myself.
I could just, if I'm gonna fall out and not pay bills and stuff, I could do it by myself instead of having a man with me. Like when I was with my ex-husband and he wasn't contributing financially and stuff like that, and that's how I take it. Like, if you ain't helping me out and financially, emotionally, and everything's not, I do it all day by myself, like being bad in that way, you know?
Okay. Tanya, what does the term I can do bad by myself mean to you?
That I could do bad by myself. It's self-explanatory.
Okay. Duchess, what does that phrase mean to you?
I mean, it means if I'm gonna do bad and you can't help me, I might as well be by myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in a bad situation, and you're a liability instead of an asset.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well have my own bank account instead of a joint bank account.
Yep.
Robert, what does the term I can do bad by myself mean? You're gonna have to turn your mic on in order to be heard.
All right, could you hear me?
Yeah.
Dave, can I borrow $1,000? Could you hear me?
We
So
hear
now
you.
that you don't answer, that means I can do bad.
That was funny as shit.
Oh my God, really?
So your definition of I can do bad by myself is to ask someone named Dave to give you money?
Yes, and Dave couldn't help me, but he's always in my damn business.
My Lord.
Yeah. So if I was that Dave that you was referring to, I would tell you to mind the business that pays you. Gregory,
That's why I can do bad by myself.
What does the term I can do bad by myself mean to you?
I think the ladies explained it well. I think this is more like a lady's point of view anyways when they say that thing anyways.
You
Gregory,
think so?
it goes both ways, buddy.
But it does go both ways. You can do bad by yourself. You don't need that.
Didn't you
person
just hear
that
me
ain't
ask
helping
my
you out.
brother, could I borrow $1,000? And he couldn't answer me?
We was having technical difficulties. So, okay, let's move on to the next person. Damon, same question. When you hear the term, I can do bad all by myself, what does that mean to you?
It can apply to a lot of different terms, but I want to keep it at the basic terms where if a woman's in a bad relationship with a man, like she said, he's not covering, then he got to go. And then mainly when a man is in a situation like that where he wants to go, it's mainly about a woman's attitude. So it can go either way,
All right.
depending on the situation.
All right. Timmy, it's on you. What does that phrase mean to you? I can do bad by myself. You're gonna have to turn your mic on so you can be heard.
Yeah,
All right.
Timmy, turn it on. I don't even know if he's right there.
No worries.
Watching the game.
We're gonna move
Oh.
on. Who else? Did anybody else didn't get a turn?
That's the one too.
All right, Timmy. We're gonna need you to pay attention. It's on
I
you.
wasn't here. I was downstairs.
Yes. Okay. So same question as everybody else. What does the term "I can do bad by myself" means to you?
Did you hear Johnny Tech or Johnny Taylor? I can do bad by myself. You know, that's what it means. It's self-explanatory.
Explain it to us, because if we never heard that song before, other than the few.
God damn it, I can't understand why you ain't never heard the damn song, but you hear them play. You know they play it all the time.
I don't have the same.
And where do they play? Where could we hear this song at, Uncle T? What bar?
Oh, any damn bar.
All right,
They
so
play, but yeah, that is a self-explanatory uh phrase. You know, it means just what it says. Do bad by yourself.
all right, so did everybody get a chance to take a shot at the definition? All right,
I
so
think we have.
all right, so we're gonna go on. So basically, that term just basically means that I can fight my own battles. I can go it alone. I don't need nobody's help. Self-sufficient. It's a declaration of independence. That's basically what it is. But it happens to be one of the official war cries of the female gender, and they have many, but this is just one that's old and dear to all of them. But okay, let's break it down. Now, this is why these women are fond of using this term. Do touch base on it, and two of the ladies said that it has to do with finance. I believe it was Patsy and Kiana. So that's most of the times when it comes down to women, they equate that with finance. If they're in a relationship with you and they're struggling financially, then they just assume not be with you. Now, there's a lot of situations where you have women that are married to their struggle. It's like a ball and chain. It might be their husband, it might be their baby daddy, it might be their boyfriend, their significant other. And now this person's lack of finance is pulling them down, dragging them deeper into a pit of debt because they're trying to take care of him and the rest of the family. And instead of it being a two income family, it's just one. Now, here's my question to the whole panel. How do you get to that point? If when you meet this person, and we're generally speaking, be it a man or a woman, and if you're already paying your bills, you already have a job, and you already have responsibilities, how do you just automatically just change up? Kiana?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I heard the end of that, but I didn't hear the beginning of that question.
So
Sorry.
when you meet somebody And if you already have a job
Uh-huh.
prior to meeting this individual, and you're already accustomed to paying your way, paying your bills and stuff, things of that nature, you're already paying your car note. If you live in a house, you're paying your mortgage. You go food shopping on your own, you're paying all your bills, your utilities, you buy food and all of those things. You get your hair done before you met him, everything. You got your own medical insurance. You're doing it all on your own. So when you meet the potential Mr. Right, how do you how does everything go so wrong? How does that happen? How do you get to that point where you're saying I could do bad all by myself?
Sound like two different questions you're asking me, but I mean, if the person is doing well on their own, if two people are doing well on their own, they should be doing great together. So
Mm-hmm.
if the mere fact that now your burdens become solely my burdens and I'm doing all the dragging, of course, is going to say, go back there, come here. Is going to say, they're going to evaluate like, okay, what the hell's going on? Why is it only me? Like, even if, let's say the other person lose their job, are you looking for a job? Are you contributing any type of way that makes all of the burden lighter on me? And if you're not, then you have to ask your question. And especially if you're not married, why the hell am I can do bad by myself?
Mm-hmm. All right, Robert, same thing. You meet a woman, you got everything going for you. You're doing well financially, spiritually. You would be referred to as you got it all together. You're making great leaps and bounds on your own. Um, and when you meet this young lady and she's supposed to bring value to your life, how is it that you get to the point where you suddenly start struggling? You got to turn your mic on, Robert, so you can be heard. All right, we're going to move on. Gregory, do I need to repeat the scenario or you got it?
I think when people start feeling miserable is when it gets to that point. Because if you're in a relationship and you're together, sometimes you don't mind holding the weight for your partner until they get in a position where they want to be. You get what I'm saying? But once a person starts feeling miserable and you just taking advantage of their kindness, taking their kindness for weakness or whatever, that's when a person gets to the point where like I can do bad by myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Patsy, you're doing well. Like I said, you're able to pay your bills. You're not needing to borrow anything from the family. You got a bank account. You got a savings account. You're able to put something away. And now comes Mr. Right. And now again, everything just starts to go terribly wrong upon attaching yourself to him or allowing him to attach himself to you. How does it how do you get to that point?
Like in my situation, it was drug addiction.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought I was trying to help him too at the same time, dealing with that, getting better and stuff. And then when I moved down south with him, it's like it was okay for a little while, but then when I left him and went back and everything, it just fell apart because he was just like all up in the grill of that addiction mode.
Can I ask you a question? Did he have a job when you met him?
He was on disability.
So
He
he
had
had an, he had
job,
an
but
income.
so, but when we moved down there, it's like he was on disability himself, but yeah. So he had an income coming in,
Mhm.
so but his money was going out to his addiction.
Got it.
And I was kind of like left in a loop of trying to make ends meet. And sometimes when I'd go cash my check with some of that money that I was supposed to be paying bills was disappearing because he was dipping in where I had it at, it's like dang.
So he had access to your bank account?
Like this is before I could actually either get it to my account or actually go down and pay whatever I needed to go down and pay.
So money that you had in the house.
Right.
Mm, mm.
So yeah, sometimes people do crazy stuff when they have addiction issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude, you meet someone,
Yep.
prior to meeting them,
Mm-hmm.
you have a good job,
Mm-hmm.
you got a nice car, you have your own home,
Mm-hmm.
you got a savings account,
Mm-hmm.
and you're paying into your retirement fund, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
have no children,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't got no baby mama drama, and now you meet this individual, and she has a couple of kids,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all get together. How does it go downhill? Why would it go downhill, I should say, at that point, where before meeting her, you was on the right path, a lot of people would say.
Well, the first thing what I would have to do when I sit down with her, well, when I first meet the girl,
Mhm,
because I have to know that spirit of a woman.
mhm,
Because I need to know how you get down when and I want to hear all the stories about the ex-boyfriends. I'm not the jealous type. I want to know everything. Tell me it
mhm,
all. Because if I know everything that happened with them and you, then I know you. So you ain't got to hide none of that from me. But if the father is still around, what I mean by still around, when he's still around, around for his kids and being around, those are two different things.
mhm,
So that'll be a red flag depending on how old the kids are and how the woman carries herself. And then if she has a truthful spirit, she don't even have to have a job. She don't even have to have a work. She don't have to have work because I'm old fashioned. A woman, for me, if my woman only can work if she wants to work, but if she don't want to work, she got a right not to work because I don't think that a workplace is suitable. But not saying y'all can't do it because y'all are more multitasking than us. I just think the workplace, the workforce is real brutal to y'all. It's real brutal to women, and I don't think women should be in the workforce. Not that you shouldn't make your own money, but it's just brutal out there, and the way they treat women out there. I just don't think women should be there, and that's from a spiritual point of view, not physical. But then again, like I said, if she got a good spirit, I'll give it a try. But if she can't carry herself right, and you can tell by the way her kids respond to her, how that wrong. There's a
mhm,
lot of red flags, and once I see the red flags, I'm not doing it. But if I see, because I don't want to just put her out there because she got two kids. Say, oh
mhm,
no, I'm not mess with her because she could have bad situation, and she's
mhm,
just in a messed up situation. So you really have to get to know somebody. You really have to. You really have to. That's the main key in anything. If you don't get the time to know somebody and that's all you want to do is bump and grind, it should be upfront. This is what we're doing. I don't want to, I don't know. Don't. People should not bullshit each other. They should be honest with with each other about what they're looking for. So that
mhm,
way, this ain't for me. But you really have to know a spirit of a person. Even for the women, they have to know the spirit of a man. Like, he do some goofed up stuff, but he got a great spirit. And I know he's gonna bounce back. Cause all you be like, oh, did she kind of? But she got a great spirit. It's all
mhm.
about the spirit
Okay.
because people can be in bad situations. Just like any one of them, we all grew up together. We're all good, we're all good people, good
Mhm.
spirited people, but we get pissed off. We different people,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know.
Um,
All right, all right.
Tanya, I'm gonna go to you. and then I'm gonna come back to Robert. Tanya, so your scenario, before you meet this guy, you got a great job. You're doing good things. You're taking care of your family. You got a bank account and it's overflowing. You got a secret bank account. You got something stashed away for a rainy day. You know, you got money in the house, you got money in the bank. All your children are doing well. You're driving the latest car of your choosing. And you're able to help out your let's say your mom or your dad, whoever you're helping out. And now along comes this individual that is not bringing anything to the table financially. Um, how do you get to the point where you allow that individual to take away from what you have and then you start struggling? How does it get to that point?
You giving me a scenario that I've never been in.
That's the whole point. No one scenario that I gave them is equating to their life. I didn't do that. I just gave you that's just the situation.
So how does it get to where I'm struggling?
Yeah.
Something had to happen. Did he have a job?
No.
Well, something had to happen. Either I lost my job or it got to be too much for me and I was under strain. And he not feeling me spiritually or mentally. He just take, and something had to happen for me to get to that point.
So I had to get to son. So the fact that he's taking from you and not pouring into you, that's how you got to the point. I can do it bad by myself.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I'm hearing. All right, Robert, you meet a woman. Robert, are you with us?
I'm right here, dripping like water.
Oh my Lord.
All right, so you meet a woman.
You want it?
She has her own business, and you don't have a job. You just got a whole bunch of ideas, dreams of becoming a wealthy individual. Like I said, she has her own business. She owns her own house. She's paying all her bills and stuff before she meets you. But she has an ex-husband. Well, he's not really her ex-husband because they haven't finalized their divorce. They have not even started divorce procedure. How does that become a situation where she's doing bad? She's starting to do bad.
That is like a loaded trick question that can sometimes make me think
Don't
is
overthink it.
relating. No. I can't overthink because it's trashy. So I'm gonna tell you the way I feel.
That's the
There's
point.
no way I'm putting myself in a predicament. And I'm just gonna try to tell you, my late age that I'm living now, I'm not seeing no woman still dealing with an ex-husband and then you're saying me, I got a whole bunch of ideas, dreams to become and a wealthy
Healthy.
man. You know, my dreams, my ideas, I might just take it over here, do some self-reflecting, and know that this is no relationship for me over there because she's still mingling with her ex. And that might be a possibility why she is becoming financially in debt or struggling to make ends meet because the husband probably just might be in her pocket still, or she is still just kindly doing kind acts for him. So I don't want no part of that. I can start fresh with someone that doesn't have a husband and that's where we're going from there.
All right, so you saying if she started to struggle, experience any struggle, it wouldn't be due to you. It'd be due to
It wouldn't be due to me
interaction with
because my beliefs and a woman these days is finding someone that is basically equally yoked or have a little bit more than me and that can bring me up with motivation to want to become equal as her. But I need someone that has a home or apartment of their own income, either being working or owning something. She has to have a car. She has to be doing good things. I can't just get with someone and I have to build you or I'm expecting you to build me from the bottom. I don't want that type of relationship.
All right. Let me see. Timmy, you with us? Timmy? All right, we're gonna move on. All right, ladies. Let's just put it out there like this. I saw something during my research today. This woman said that let me be clear about this. I want to make sure I give you guys the right scenario. This young lady, she was dealing with a drug dealer. This drug dealer basically laced her with all the finest things. She did not have to work. She didn't have to do nothing. He paid for her clothing. He paid for her salon visits. He paid all her bills, and he paid for the car that she was driving. She didn't have to work. She got all the funds from him.
He's a big boy.
What happens in that but then when this guy left her and she got with a dude that had a job. He had a job, and now she expected this man to do
Little, I'm gonna hurt you.
everything that the drug dealer used to do for her. So but then when he wasn't able to do it, she started screaming she could do bad by herself because her ex-boyfriend used to take care of her, and he's less of a man than what her ex-man was. Do you think that's a fitting for her to say in that situation she could do bad all by herself? Bird, you with us?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm here.
So did you hear the scenario?
I just heard the scenario.
All right. So do you think that woman can honestly use that term, I could do bad by myself, because she used to date a drug dealer and now she's dating someone that don't have the same type of income, and he doesn't do what the drug dealer used to do? She's saying that he's less of a man, so she might as well do bad by herself. Do you think that's a fitting term in that situation?
Um, I don't want to say it's a fitting term. I think it's a culture of women that are out here. Not all women, but it is a culture of women. It's materialistic, it's financial support, and the common guy making $50,000 a year ain't enough to deal with some women's lifestyle they want.
Okay.
So it is easy to do good on someone else's dime. Must be nice.
That's fair. Gregory, same thing. Do you think, how you feel about that scenario, that woman? Do you think that she's right in saying that she could do bad by herself in that situation?
I agree with Bird totally. It sounds like she's looking for somebody to just take care of her.
Okay. Robert, you with us?
Yeah, I'm right here. So, yeah, Joseph said it. He's looking to do good on someone else's dime.
But do you think that it's befitting that she can make that statement? She can do bad by herself, and he's less of a man than her ex-man?
Listen, that lady need to check where she is in life. Because if you're comparing me to a drug dealer and he did this, he did that, and if he would have been here, he still would have been doing even more. What about what you need to do for your damn self?
Mm-hmm.
If it takes that drug dealer to make you feel special, then get your ass up and go sell some drugs and put money in your own pocket if that's what you was counting on, drug money. Cause I ain't the man to put drug money in your pocket.
Okay, well said.
Where's
David,
the drug dealer at? Where's the drug dealer at?
he
He
gone.
left because he couldn't deal with her just draining his pockets.
He gone. He
Mm.
probably who knows where he went. He's gone for this situationship. He's gone. He's no
She
longer
wasn't
a
there, but she
factor.
wasn't nothing for to jump off anyway.
Okay.
He was renting her for whatever. That's all he was doing, renting her. So soon as he got what he wanted, and you know, she started getting greedy one. Oh, I need you to pay for everything. Yeah, then he said, oh, I can't deal with this. You know, so he stabbed out.
All right, dude. How you feel about that type of woman that has that type of mindset? That she's going to tell her current man about what her ex-man used to do for her based upon his is the term ill-gotten gains?
Hmm. So now, was she saying that to make him go and step up his game to do something, or was she just telling him just to be telling him?
That's a good question, right? Is it motivating, or is it you know, self-destruct? I mean, like something to tear him down, emasculating.
Because for me, first off, I rip not just because she dated a drug dealer, just by her telling me that and thinking her mind frame, I can't mess with her. Why? Because you dealt with a drug dealer. I can't sleep at night in your house, girl. I'm not comfortable. You
Mm,
know, and I don't know where you and you say y'all broke up, but drug dealers, how they are, they feel like once you belong to them, you always belong to them. So no, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. So sorry, rain check. See you later. That's not
Mm.
even that wouldn't even be a booty call for me. Cause I couldn't, sorry ladies, I couldn't even get hard in her house because I'd be too nervous. I have my hand on my gun. I couldn't do that.
mm.
So just by that, I there's no way. There's no way. And she's crazy because if you reverse that around now, me being a guy, I had an okay job, not a great job, but okay job, and my girlfriend was a big time drug dealer, whatever. I'm still working my job, and if she's buying everything and paying for everything, you know where all my checks are going? In a fucking bank, just in case her ass go to jail and get arrested, or she dump me and leave and do what she got to do. All that money I've been working that time has all been banked up. I'd have to spend none of it because she's been paying for me.
Smart, smart.
Right.
All right, ladies. Let's get your perspective. Tanya, you with us?
Yep.
How you feel about that woman? I mean, where she feels like this man, her current man, is lesser than her former man because he's not able to provide for her the way her drug dealing boyfriend did, and she's saying that she can do bad by herself because now who's going to pay these bills and who's going to
Awful.
basically keep her living the type of life that she was accustomed to?
I would say that she was young, dumb, and stupid
Amen.
because she was with someone she was looking at the money and the materialistic stuff. Being with a drug dealer, she was putting her life in jeopardy. She actually had a better man. She's actually stepped up when she got rid of the drug dealer, or the drug dealer left, and she got someone who was trying to make a decent living legally, who had potential to go on to do different things, because the drug dealer probably done been arrested and couldn't get a job.
Mm, mm. Okay. Patsy, like, how you feel about that young lady, that woman?
Same thing like Tanya. She ain't nothing but materialistic, had no values. And she got a better man with a job, logistic job where he paying his bills, making sure he got his money in the bank and whatever else he's doing good, as opposed to being a drug dealer. Yeah, the drug dealer might have been making good bank compared to the working guy. But I'd rather have the working guy. Like, if you really want that kind of money, like, be pampered like that, go get a job yourself and get some of that stuff that you're used to getting pampered. Because I know, like, I go get money on Sunday, pamper myself, because ain't nobody else doing it too. If you find yourself in a situation when you lost a man that was doing it for you, well, you better step up your game as a woman to get yourself pampered by yourself.
And can I just ask, she lucky that nothing happened to him, or she would have been doing bad by herself.
Exactly.
Well, I think she will be doing bad by herself because I'm gonna give it to Kiana, but I'm gonna give you the scenario again. The drug dealer used to take care of her. She did not work. He paid all her bills. He paid for everything that she wanted in life. He basically gave her her lifestyle. She didn't work the whole time she was with him. Her current boyfriend is the one that works, and now she wants him to assume the role as the former and pay for all her bills and take care of her. Kiana, how you feel about that situation? And on top of that, she's got the nerve to say to him, I could do bad by myself, but you do less than my ex.
My statement is all money ain't good money, and she's short-sighted. She's looking at the at the quick side of that money, not at longevity, because that's not guaranteed money. That's not guaranteed lifestyle. And she's a dumbass because when he was paying her bills and taking care of her, she wasn't putting no money aside for rainy days.
That's right, girl.
So she's a dummy. She's a dummy.
Young, dumb, and stupid.
Exactly.
All right, so what do y'all say? What would you say if I told you
That's
that
not young, dumb, and stupid. That was just plain outright not wanting to do the right thing as a
But
person.
that's the same thing, Timmy. What you say and what we said is both the same thing of that woman being young, dumb, and stupid, not really thinking and planning ahead, even though she got that stupid drug dealer with that mindset.
I think that
I should just say dumb and stupid, because you can be an older woman and do the same
That's
shit.
what I was getting ready to say too,
And
Tanya. It ain't just young
Say that.
kids. That's why I was saying not just young and dumb, because you have older people who ain't mature, still have a damn young mind like they was in their damn 20s and they in their 40s, 50s. Some
And
even some in their 60s still acting like they got damn 20, 30 years old.
above all else, I think that you can label that with that person with certainty as being selfish, because that's a selfish mentality that tells you I can do bad all by myself because you are not in a position to take care of her lazy behind, and because she feels like she's accustomed to living a certain way. But I would ask the question, what attracted you to me in the first place?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the fact that I
The
dealt
money,
drugs.
the
Yeah,
materialistic
Josie's
thing.
in too.
All right,
It was the
welcome,
money
Josie.
and the materialistic thing.
All right, so what would you guys say, ladies, if I told you that they said women, that is one of the things that they look for in a man. When looking for a man, they look for what he can do for them financially. That is the value of a man. That is the very thing that determines if you're going to deal with him, if he can contribute to your lifestyle financially. Kiana, true or false?
I believe that that's true, but I believe that that's been how the patriarchal system is set up, is that you look for a man to provide for you and and either your current children or your future children, because that's how you build your home.
Mm-hmm. Josie, do you think that's a true statement? Or have you found it to be false?
She said, "Give her a second. I'll see her in a second."
Tanya, do you believe that that is a true statement that most women are attracted to men because of what they can contribute financially to their lifestyle? That's how they determine his value, his worth.
I'm gonna say that.
Wallet.
How can I put this? I'm gonna say for some women that's a true statement, because like men are visual when they're attracted to someone, and women, as we are the caretakers of the home, we looking for some substance and seeing if the person is hardworking and if he can provide. So I guess it's, in a sense, that's a true statement.
Okay. Patsy, true or false? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a true statement for the most part, but not every woman is just looking for the financial part to be taken care of in that way. It can be like they're also looking for the emotional connection, the intellectual, you know, as well as like what are you taking care of with financial? Are you gonna have that stable job and everything, like what are you gonna be able to provide for me? But it's just not financial, but it's emotional, protective, everything. It's like anything that you got on your list for that man to provide for you outside of finances. That's what most women are looking for, the finances. So um emotional stability, the being protected by that man, everything.
Okay. Bird, you still with us? I think guys.
Said me or Bird?
I said Bird.
He stepped away and Josie stepped away.
All right, so you guys is having a lot of technical difficulties now. All right, let's go to the men that's left. Robert, let's go to you first. So that statement about women look to men to bring value to their life, and that's determined based upon what they can contribute financially. That is that a good thing? Is how does that make you feel to hear something like that?
Um, People from the old school probably appreciate to hear stuff like that, but me, because I don't even care. I mean, I'm I have been brought up, seen, taught that way in some sense, but me personally, I always believe a lady should want to get her own money, save money. Um, if a man gives you any type of money, you count it as extra. If you're dependent on what he can give and do for you, you'll find yourself in a slump as like because you're spending unnecessary money on silly stuff. So because this man's gonna come and drop you off a lump sum. Shouldn't live your life like that. You should always think, I'm gonna get mines. The best way I know how is probably by working. I'm gonna put some money away in a savings account, and I'll put some money away in my savings account in my home too. And then this is what I can spend. And when I gotta go towards a rainy day, the money that I put away in my home and the savings account be my rainy money. And the one that is in my savings account and the bank account is for some real serious things that need to be done. So if she's looking towards a man to make her bank account fluff up, or should I say raise her value, um, I think that's stupid.
Okay. Gregory, she says your self-worth is based upon your worth is based upon what you contribute to the relationship financially. Um, do you agree with that statement? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? How does that make you feel?
It's probably a bad thing, but financially should count in a whole bunch of other things. It's like she's leaving out, and if she's stuck on that part of a relationship, then you probably shouldn't be.
Huh? Dude, same question.
All right, now is this a marriage relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, or just
You can pick one: relationship, situationship, or marriage. Marriage is a relationship.
well for any situation, people should be looking. They should be looking this. It depends on what people are looking for because people should be looking for a home. Building a home. It's all about building a home. In a home, you have a structure in a home. I know we see a lot. See, no one of my favorite actresses of all time is. It's not because she was the greatest actor of all time. It's the stand she made at the time during the time it was, and that was Florida Evans. I forgot her real name, but y'all know what I'm talking
Esther
from.
Roll.
Esther Roll.
Yeah,
Esther
that's the
Roll.
role.
Esther Roll. In the 70s, when they were doing good time, this is in the 70s. Y'all know how it was in the 70s. We couldn't say too much. In the 70s, they were doing good times. Everybody was in the role except for father. She's like, I'm not doing this without a father. How dare you,
Right.
black women, say, oh no, I want a father, I want a man with it. If I'm
You
gonna struggle,
tried
I want
they
a man to struggle with it. And it's because she knows it's about family. You're not gonna send this image. It is so normal. We keep talking about separation. We're not supposed to be. We them fall so much that we're talking about separation. A girl, nah. If I'm dating somebody, especially if you're mature and know your date, I'm dating someone to try to make a home. I'm not dating someone to try to fuck them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If I'm doing that, then I'll be in a club doing that where I go hang out in those spots where they do that. But it depends on what if I'm looking for something like a woman. Though, if a woman is looking for a home, sometimes it's very slim that you bump into your husband or your future marriage, your future loved one in those spots like a club or whatever else. Very slim you do, but it depends on what you're looking for, man. Sometimes it happens by accident or by chance. Those would be the best ones. But you never know. But the people got, I don't that boyfriend and girlfriend thing to me is that's just too colonizing for me because our true culture, we weren't like that. We pretty much knew who we were going to marry at 13 and 14, and we had marriages and we loved them. And they last a long time. And everything was so separated in the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s, and the 50s, and the 60s until we got integrated with them after the Martin Luther King thing. We had the strongest families in this country. We even had the best economies in the country. They don't tell you that. That's why they burnt down. They only tell you about two towns, Rosewood and Oklahoma, but it was hundreds of them they burnt down because we were doing better than them. They wanted our money, so the only way to get our money was to integrate with us. Once we integrated with them, we still had strong families. So you know what they did? They started that women's movement. Them white women dragged our black women to it, and our black women weren't going through the shit they were going through. We were doing fine. And once our women got drugged into this stuff, and that's when the welfare come in and the separation come in, and they make it seem like everything is always a single black family home, a single black family home, a single black family home. It's always that way, but that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. So I'm trying to frame my way of thinking and my household way of thinking and my kids' way of thinking is that this is how it's supposed to be. I'm playing it out. And y'all know where I came from for me to be playing this out. Y'all 30 years ago, y'all think I'd be playing this out?
Well, I'll say this because I said to Timmy the other day, I said I'm not surprised dudes marry because when we was I'm gonna say about 20 or so, you already knew that that's what you wanted. You wasn't in no relationships. You was already had the mindset where you was looking for somebody that you can, like you said, make a home with.
I
You
just didn't know how to
wasn't
keep
just
them. I
looking
can get them.
for,
You're right, because I was in long-term relationships. You're
yeah.
right. So you're right about that. And you know what? Every one of them women that you saw me in a long-term relationship, I could have married any one of them and been fine with them. It's just that I didn't know how, because I came from a broken home. I didn't know how to deal with relations when they got hot. And the only thing we know how to deal with relations we got is get angry, leave, or run. And,
And
but
leave.
nah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
had to.
you know what?
Mhm.
Let me say this, and I'm gonna bring Timmy. I already know your answer, so I'm gonna basically piggyback on what dude saying. So, and ladies, this is for all of us. Shouldn't we be looking for relationships where as a whole, we our goal is to build us up, uh develop skills and best practices, mindsets where we're trying to maintain the relationship, and so that we'll also have meaningful relationships and experiences. So and did we develop skills that's going to allow us to have long-term relationships, long-lasting relationships, I should say. Are you guys in agreement with that? Josie, are you back? All right, we'll go to you,
Yep.
Timmy.
He
Timmy,
stepped off for
do
a
you
work
agree
call.
with that, Timmy?
Yeah. Well, the old saying was the you want a woman like your mother that had the qualities of your mother, right? And so that's what the deal was back then. Now, dude said it was family oriented, where we were doing well. But then all of a sudden to break up that that tight knit circle of family or village like community, right? They brought the drugs in.
Mhm.
Drugs came in and all that uh togetherness and all that just went out the door.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And Timmy says, speaking about, and you look for your mother qualities. Now, when they brought the drugs into the neighborhood, my mother was one of those ones who got addicted to the drugs. So how am I going to look for mother-like qualities in that?
Right, right, right.
So, all
See,
right.
that's what fucked up the whole goddamn the family, the oriented of the family. The drugs came in, people start not caring. The ones who was on the drugs was more worried about their next hit on the drugs than worrying about what was going on with their family.
Okay. So let me bring Robert. You back with us?
I never left.
Uh, so what I need to know is if it's our intention, and let's fast forward to present day, right? Because we it's a whole nother show to talk about what brought us to this point. And I applaud you guys that you have that type of knowledge that you knew you know what happened back then. So because of that, you should be strong about what you need to do current day so that we don't repeat the cycle. We got to
That's
break the
right.
cycle.
That's right.
Robert, so I'm gonna ask you if we're focused on, if we look at, as Dude said, good times, right? Then we
Mhm.
fast forward to what we see, our next representation
The
was
Cosby,
probably, let
the
me finish,
Cosby.
Tim. Let me finish. You're right, you're actually right. The Cosby Show. But even before that, we had what's that? What's happening now?
Yeah.
And what's happening. And
Yep.
all those shows is like that, right? Even up to the Cosby Show and stuff like that. That gave us a depiction of so mainly good times. I'm gonna
And
tell you,
and
I'm gonna
Dave,
go.
my bad to cut you off, but let me
Yep.
tell you how fun they even reversed it with Sanford and Son.
Yeah, that's another version of it. Two people working together. But this is what I'm about to tell. Let's talk about the men and the women, right? I'm gonna take what's happened tonight because if my memory serves me well,
There was no father. I
the
don't think
father
There
in that
was
wasn't in
no
the
home.
room
father.
like the way the other.
Yeah,
Right.
there wasn't.
That's
So
why I
we
said
so
the
so we
Cosby and
good
Good
times.
Times.
All right, that
Good
was our
Times
first.
was the Good Times was showing you the struggle from out the project. Now the Cosby, they done got away from they got educated, got good jobs, and they moved their kids to the suburbs where they can get good education and they're not, tied in worrying about their kids getting robbed.
All right, so
You
stop,
know,
stop right there, because that's what I'm talking about. We done went from the good times, which was basically a flip on the situation because even in the midst of bad times, they still try to make a good time of it. Now you fast forward to the Cosby Show, there was a different depiction of the man and the woman, and it was no question of I could do bad by myself because they was doing good together. So if that's what we were shown, how do we keep coming back to this situation where we're allowing society to say, okay, this is who you are, this is what you represent, this is all y'all ever going to be? Robbie.
Most of that is because of what they would call they're easily
influencer,
influenced. They're easily
influencer.
influenced by what they see on television. And some of them right off the rip are just pure selfish.
Yeah.
So that's how you keep going back to a struggle, like you're really deep into poverty because one person really doesn't want to share their, I don't even want to say wealth, what they have, and it can be just enough or more than enough, but they just don't want to share it.
They don't
And
want
and
you
and,
to
and then
be
the other part of
where
that
they
is,
at.
yeah, and then the other part, because some people don't believe in having someone on equal ground. They always want to be two levels ahead. So you can be the one asking for stuff, and they don't never have to ask you for something. And they like to be the one that says yes or no, and not can I or can I not. Um, the and back to the television and back to what you see outside your door. There's families all around you. You got the good and you got the bad. They don't just take for television. Your neighbors look there in their direction. You got the Pablos that believe in sitting down, having dinner every single day and a conversation. How was your day in school? Wife, husband, how was your day at work? Oh, you didn't get a job yet? Tomorrow will be a greater day. You'll be promised that job because we pray on it every day. Then you turn to the Thompsons, and one person is working, the other's hanging on the porch all day, having a drink of beer or a drink of liquor, and don't see nothing wrong with it because Earl's coming over or Pamela's coming over and they're shooting the shit. And the kids are watching that, and for any type of structure or family values or the right to do's, it's just not there.
Okay. Duchess, you still with us?
Oh, Dave, let me read this something. So Good Time, to me, Good Times is part one, and the Huxtables is part two. And I want to tell you why. Because
Right, right.
Good
Exactly.
Times, even though they were going through a hard time, they were together, doing it
Yes.
together.
Right.
Yes.
They were doing it
Yes.
together, and that love right there is real. Why? Because
Yes.
all they had was each other. You know what
Yes.
I'm trying to say? So now you think of think of what you call it, the sister when she married a football player and he got his
Yeah.
contract
Yeah.
back. So you know
Y'all
they're
get it.
going to good schools. So those would have been Huxtable kids because they're going to the good schools and getting a good
That's right.
education there.
That's right.
Right.
The evolution.
And
Now,
guess what? And they saw when their parents were struggling, they did it together.
that's right.
Right.
Now,
Right.
now again, so that brings me to what I was saying.
But see, the thing with the Huxtables was that the kids started feeling like the parents' money was their money.
Yeah.
And so, and so because
but then they grounded them
they
though.
made sure they had everything, they didn't go to school from me, they always had nice things, and then they was supportive to whatever activities that the kids was into, right? And so that was the difference between the Huxtables because in good times the kids struggled. They made the best for whatever in anything that they had, and they did it with pride.
And they
They
all
didn't
had
let
gifts. They all
and
had
they
gifts.
didn't let no one. They didn't care what anybody said about them. Is that we was together and we was rich with love.
Okay, so hold on, guys. Hold on, because I want to bring these ladies back into this conversation. Someone let me know when Josie comes back too. All right. So Kiana, you still with us?
I'm here.
All right. Patsy, you still with us?
Yes.
Tanya?
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies, you heard the men's all the what the men had to say, right? This is our mindset, the evolution and stuff. You guys watch the same things that we watched growing up. Like Rob said about the neighbors. If you lived in an apartment building, you walked down the hall, pretty much everybody was watching the same things at the same time, right?
Hell yeah.
And if you wasn't watching in the comfort of your own home, you was watching it in the comfort of your neighbor's house if you was allowed to. All right. So now I gotta ask you, ladies, the ladies, how the hell do we get to a point in a time where women will allow a man to come into their house and basically alter with just totally just change the whole complexion of what they know they should be doing. Like I said, you was taking care of business beforehand. If the baby daddy is no longer in the house and you're the person that's providing, you're the nurturer and the protector, and you're doing all that stuff, and you let another man come into the home and he's not bringing nothing good to the table, not financially, not spiritually, not emotionally, and he's not bringing nothing to help you discipline and raise these children. How do you get to the point where this becomes something that y'all allow to be the representation of women? How do you get to that point where you start talking that crazy stuff? I could do bad by myself.
I think you're asking two different questions.
I am.
Because if a person who has been in a previous relationship of two people doing it or whatever, and now she's allowed herself to be in a relationship that's one-sided, that means that woman is broken and she's just accepted crumbs when she could have a whole cake. So that's a different question than. Go ahead.
I was just about to say in that analogy, if she's the one that's providing the ingredients, she's baking the mother effer and she's putting frosting on it, how the hell you give this man, let him take it all and you get the crumbs?
Because she's tired. She'll accept the crumb because she doesn't have to do anything for the crumb.
So she'll just accept.
She's tired. She's accepting. She's beat down. She's broken. that she's allowed herself to accept any and all of that.
Okay.
Because if she wasn't, why would she ever? She wouldn't
And
even accept
you,
that
you
crumb on a plate, on the floor, on a napkin. That's when she will say, I could do bad by myself, and I'm not accepting that.
So she
Those are
has,
two different questions.
so are you
Those
saying
are
she
two
got to hit
different
rock
totally
bottom?
scenarios.
So are you saying she got to hit rock bottom before she
No,
does her work?
if she knew her worth and she knows that she brings all the stuff to the table, why would she allow even him to come to her table to even look at her cake?
That's what I'm talking about.
and
That's
you forgetting the fact that even though there's two parents in the household, you forgetting about the alcoholism, the drug addiction, the incarceration that comes into play,
The domestic
yeah,
violence, there's a
the
whole,
environment,
I said, you're talking about
missing
two
all of
different
that.
things.
mhm. Okay. With all that being said, again, Kiana said, you know your self-worth beginning, you never invite this man in your house, let alone to your table. Am I correct in saying that?
But if you don't, how can it will be hard for a woman to know her self-worth if she is involved in that environment where there's domestic violence, where there's alcoholism, where there's drug addiction, even though there's two parents in the household.
But don't you know you want better?
Let's
Of
go.
course, you know but you conditioned, Dave.
And let me
People
get
get
them, Tanya,
conditioned
because
by
I
the
never even
environment.
answered with the guys. So when you got people like scientists, not even just people, I'm gonna call these people scientists and researchers, people that actually study what type of food these people like, what type of food should we put in this community, what type of music should we play in this community, what type of product should we send to this community. You got people doing stuff like that, and you don't have people doing it in your community. You got
And,
people that's actually looking at you like
and you got that
three
DNA
fourth
trauma.
percent of men, I guess. They're looking at you like animals, almost like you're a test subject.
Yeah.
So you're
What's that
saying
term
that
you use, Kiana?
Which she just said, it's an environmental thing. You're raised like that. Like, you know how you just was talking about the TV shows? And then the dynamic switches to like now where you got all these modern families where it's a whole bunch of gay couples and weird stuff going on. You get what I'm saying? That they're showing you on TV.
yeah, you're
So
right. You're right about that
it's
because
a conditioning thing, like
the,
Tanya was just saying.
yeah, I agree with you because it's still existing. Like TV still does have a lot of influence on society because with today's reality TV and stuff like that, we got a lot of ratchetness, and that's what people pattern themselves after. They no
Yeah.
longer do they aspire to be Claire Huxtable and have a husband like Cliff. They want what they see on Love and Hip Hop or Bad Girls and all the
Yeah.
fighting and all that crazy mess. And they
Yeah.
fight
You
what
know
men
what?
is
Another
doing right.
show that was not mentioned, The Jeffersons.
Oh yeah.
That was a good show because
Because
they
everybody wanted to be rising to the top to a new
exactly.
luxury apartment for their
It's like,
pizza pie
you know,
in the sky.
and it's like, you know, it kind of shows, you know, you had to, like, even though Jefferson had to work hard to build up his um
Empire.
cleaning empire, he worked hard at getting to where he wasn't rich at first, but he worked his behind off to get to where he was, where he got into that high rise.
He had
And the
seven
people
dreams.
behind the shows got together and said, hey, we can't have a community growing up thinking we're going to be like George Jefferson. We need to destroy that image. Let's
But
bring
you know
them,
what else
let's give
ain't
them
fair?
gangster
Hey,
rap.
Wait a
look at,
minute.
but
That's
my thing
not
is like
Let's give them
that's
drugs.
not true.
What
Flip
Great.
I'm
that
saying
hat on that
is,
boy
What is
backwards.
that is not true because what it's saying is showing that if you put your mind to doing and wanting to have something, then you can do just like George Jefferson.
No, I
You
think
don't have to follow the same the same business,
No, I'm
but
telling you
you
the
can use
dynamic of what you're
his
seeing, what you're
drive
being trained
and
to,
his
what your mind is being
ambition.
trained for.
No,
But
I
you know
think
what the
Gregory.
Jeffersons failed to do? This is what the Jeffersons failed to do. Yeah, it was a black man with a black woman, but the kids were already grown. We want to see him raising the
Right.
kids and each year how they transition and how he's doing what he's doing.
Right,
It
right.
was already
Yeah,
grown.
but
He was
you
a
know
full
what?
adult.
At the same time, they only had the one child, the son Lionel, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lionel was going to school, so it's like they're just showing a positive family dynamic. They went from a lower income to moderate income, right? That if you work hard, you go to, you do what you do, and you tell your kid, look, we got all this money, you can apply to go to school. So
Because the,
that was a positive influence to say, to the people that
the wife
watch it,
was the
you can do
housekeeper
And
at
y'all
anything
first.
you
had them
want, put
growing
your
up.
mind to it.
Y'all
The
had
wife
Bill
was the
Cosby.
housekeeper at first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, so let me say this to you guys.
Right.
Let's
Weezy was a housekeeper.
let's pause. Let's pause for 1 minute. We got some videos. Let me bring these videos into the fray.
Yeah, hold on.
Gregory,
She was a housekeeper for the mod, wasn't Ahmad?
No,
One of them shows. It was
she
one of
was
them
next
shows.
door. They were next door neighbors of
Mod, the three
Archie
girls.
and
Like they had a maid
they lived
themselves.
next door
She was just a
to
housewife.
Archie and them. They lived next door to Archie
Yeah, Archie Bunker, yeah.
Yeah, they
yep,
were,
And she
but
was
she
Mod.
wasn't being a housekeeper.
It was Mod, that whatever show Mod was on, that lady with them girls,
yeah.
Mod.
Maud came
Yeah.
she came from All in the Family too. She was
Mhm.
Archie's cousin or
Yeah.
Edith's cousin.
One of
okay,
them,
hold
yeah.
on 1 second, guys. Gregory, you got the video?
Yep.
All right, everybody pause for a moment. Pause your mics. Go ahead, Gregory.
Zoom meeting.
All human beings need to feel needed, men more so than women, because men can't seem to justify their own existence. So unless they're needed, useful, productive, making a difference, they can't tolerate their own being. A man, when he gets married, needs to know that he is useful, necessary, important, that he is needed. So the worst thing a wife can say to her husband is, never mind, I'll do it myself. Anything the husband offers, accept it graciously, give him credit for it, even if it's not exactly what you need from him. But if you accept what he's giving, then you can move him to what you really need from him. But if you reject what he's giving, he'll quit. You emasculate him.
Participants will
Okay.
break for
All right, ladies, I think that was something that should help you grow. I mean, if it's not something that you're doing, especially where it's talking about emasculating the man, kudos to you. And I'll be that example to others that are guilty of emasculating the men in their lives and the men around them. Because we have to be that positive example. So one thing, it's like what I took from that is they're saying that when you're going into, men need women and women need men. That's just what it sums up to. But again, we have this culture where, again, we preconditioned to believe that I don't need nobody for anything, no one to help me. I do this all on my own. Don't no one do nothing for me. That's what the young people are fond of saying. And then again, we have this, I could do bad all by myself. Oh, the struggle is real. I'm always doing this on my own. I don't need a man for nothing. And that brings us to, again, what we're dealing with present day, where we would have women that will endure these no good men that they bring into their life when they do have good representation of a man, but they don't want those type of men. They seem to be hell bent
they
on
suckers.
changing the man that has lesser character and
They
lesser
screaming now.
drive to be productive. How you feel about that, Tanya?
Suckers. They screaming.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you what my situation about me. I grew up in a household where my father left my mom when I was young. So I watched my mom go in relationship after relationship, taking care of me on her own, sometimes not taking care of me, leaving me to my grandmother or my aunts. And then I have my own kids. I'm used to taking care of myself. I've been taking care of myself since I was young.
Mm-hmm.
So I grow up with that mentality that I'm taking care of me. I don't need, I could do it on my own. I start having my kids and I'm looking for some, like I said before, when I married my first husband, I wasn't in love with him. I was just looking for someone to help me take care of my baby.
And that's what they said financially.
And I grew to love him, but he wasn't my soulmate. Things didn't work out with us. Even when I got with my husband that I'm with now, I was so used to doing things on my own and taking care of my own, even when he tried to help.
Mm-hmm.
When he had a job, if I made more money than him, I was the one who was making the decisions because I was like, it's my money. I'm going to do what I want to do with it.
Now y'all speaking on it. Go ahead.
Because I made it,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't give him the opportunity. Even when he was trying to tell me the right things to do, I wasn't listening because I was so used to doing things on my own. And it took him
it's hard.
Hold on,
it's hard to.
It took him to say to me, like, you keep telling me you want me to be the man of this house,
right?
But not allowing me to be the man of the house. And so I had to step back.
It's just hard. It's hard to damn do that though.
And let go and give him the room to show me, because I was always on a defense mode, like I only can depend on myself.
Right.
All right.
So
but because you've been doing it so long,
Timmy, I only had to depend on myself. So I had to step back and allow him to show me that he could be that man that I needed him to be.
All right. Timmy, you was going to say something?
I was going to say that she's been doing it so long where, you put up a barrier where you feel like I can do it by myself. That's just that, because you've done it so long. So when you get with somebody that's saying, yo, let me do this, and you saying this and that, well, it's hard to do that because you've been doing it so long. So you can't just relinquish things, just like that.
All right, hold on. Is Josie, are you with us? All right. I'm gonna Duchess, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, Keith. Do you think it's a trust issue? Because for the woman that's been doing it on her own and watching mommy do it on her own and watching grandma do it on her own, watching the lady next door, watching my older cousins and stuff do it on my own. So now I have a hard time in relinquishing control, being submissive in a sense.
I'm not gonna say the word submissive. I think it's like you're on cruise control. You don't know anything differently. So you go with what you know. You have to learn to allow someone else to help or assist. And it would be with little things. It has to go little by little. And then also we'll change that. Well, if you do something and you don't do it my way, then I definitely wouldn't allow you to continue to do it. But you have to learn that your way is not
always the right way.
It's not always the right way. It's not a bad way. It's that a person will do it differently. As long as the outcome is what you want,
then it's a control thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a trust thing. It's a trust thing.
So it's both a control and trust issue. Those
Yeah, I
are
believe
both
so.
factors. All right. Robert, how do you, when you hear ladies say this, that because they've been doing it on their own, they have a issue with trusting and relinquishing control, being vulnerable, so to speak. How do you convince them that how do you get them to be comfortable with you stepping in and providing assistance? You know it's what they need, but how do you get them to trust you to allow you to take the lead?
I mean, you have to show them. It does depend on what he's trying to take lead of. Is it talking to the children, setting rules, in a disciplined manner, or you're talking about showing the lady that you can come in and you can help save money, make a budget, what I'm gonna pay the bill. So instead of me coming to you asking, hey, you want to, just let me just stop paying the bills. You give me X amount of money. I go out and I pay the bills. And she's like, nah, I can do that on my own. Then you turn to her and say, you know what? I got you this month. Let me show you I can pay the bills out of my money. And now she's starting to watch you be able to do something that she's thinking only she can do. She might change the way she's thinking because her guard is up because she's probably been let down so many times and thinking that this is possible and it really wasn't. So he has to do something by leading by example. I'm gonna say, yeah, that man or woman should try to show them by doing it. And talking to the kids, she's like, no, don't talk to the children. I got that all figured out on it. No, one day she's out, and you don't mean no disrespect or harm by talking to the kids. So hopefully she'll walk in while you have, a sit down with all the children at the table. She comes home from work, you guys sit down having a hell of a conversation, and no one's feelings are being hurt. And a couple of times she might have to walk in on that to see you don't mean no harm. You're not trying to overstep your boundaries or whatever she's blocking you from doing or saying because she's worrying that her feelings are going to get hurt or she's protecting the children from being hurt or her money is going to be spent in the wrong direction or she don't want to depend on you paying bills so she'll continue to pay herself. I just say you got to lead by example. There's things you can do, like I said. You sit down and talk to the kids, let her walk in. You start helping pay some of the bills without asking her, let me do money management for you. I'm going to actually start doing it, not to take over, to show you that it's okay. I'm here for you.
Like that. That's Jules right there. Patsy, because there's a trust issue and a lack of comfort, and a lot of times people, they're not, and when I say comfort, they're not comfortable with relinquishing control. So how does a man, how do they tear down these walls that you guys erect due to the former representative of manhood, or the former man in your life? How do we tear down these walls that you guys erected because of the prior man situations?
Pretty much like just keeping an open communication and understanding that the way that my past was is my past and the with other men, and then just understanding that my mother was a single parent too, so she dealt with it on her own, but And to me, it's like it's not that women don't want a man to step up and help them with stuff. We want that, but we just got feel to in the past, like with my ex-husband with that situation, it's like we gotta find that trust and learn who you are as a man. If it seems like you're a better man than what we had in the past,
Mhm.
well, it's like a dual conversation. Is like um asking us or just like Robert said, like do something to prove that I could handle this. Like, oh, give me the your electric bill. I'll go over there and pay it myself for you. You
Facts.
know, and stuff like that does says a lot. Or even
Mhm.
just like bringing me like, oh, you're gonna go get your nails done. Okay, how much
Mhm.
is it?
Mhm.
And you tell them, oh, well, here's like $5 to $10 more than what you actually pay for the nails and your tip,
Mhm.
So something like that, like little things, flowers, getting your nails done, getting your hair done. Come on, I'll pay for that to be done.
All right.
Something that kind of like uplift you as a woman and to let I got your back.
Okay. So, dude, let me ask you because earlier you said you have a problem with the woman in your life staying home because you feel like the workforce is not fair to them, and so that shows your protective nature. Not only willing to be a protector but a provider as well. Provider first and protector second. So when you come into a situation, so give the viewers some advice. When you see already there's walls that are erected and they done padlock the door and stuff and the walls are built so high. How do you approach that of like tearing that wall down? Do you come in with a wrecking ball, sledgehammer, or do you try to take a practical approach and remove brick by brick? How do you do that?
No, the first thing you have to do is you have to be 100% truthful because she
Mhm.
done seen it all, done heard it all, done been through it all. And most of her baggage is not mainly through the guys. It's mainly
Mhm.
from working out in that system, providing for her and her family for being a single mother, then having to deal with these guys.
Mhm.
So you don't have the strength to do both of those because you're not made to do both of those.
Got it.
You're made predominantly just to deal with the guy, whether he's a good guy or a jerk. You got the energy just for that, but not for the world and for that. And that's why they beat up so much. That's why they're not supposed to be out in the real in that real world system getting beat up. And that's why they're so defensive the way they are. And then you have lost men that they come across who don't understand their value, don't understand who they are, and they're bringing their baggage to this woman like she's mama, and she's playing mama and trying to be girlfriend or wifey to a son and or man's son. You
Mhm.
know how it goes,
Yeah.
but it's very hard because when you look at the value of a man and woman, there's two things I know we all believe in the Bible. And first of all, when anybody's looking for anyone to be with, forget the money they make, how they do. Y'all should have the same belief system because your
Yeah.
belief system will be your baseline. We both all believe in this. This is right and wrong by both of us because this is what we believe. And now y'all agree. So that way, when y'all try to go into a battle about anything, this is our belief. We believe in the same God and we believe in the same whatever. And this is what we go by. But there's one thing that the thing gets a fight about who's more valuable than other. There's no such thing as who's more valuable than other. 'Cause I'm going to say two things that the Most High said. The Most High made man. After he made man, he said it is not good for man to be alone.
That's right.
And then he also said a woman has to be covered by a man at all times, whether it's her husband, her brother, her uncle, or whoever it is. She has to be covered by a man at all times. So neither one of
Protection.
them could be alone.
Mhm.
Neither one of them could be alone. So the world has gotten us fighting with each other, and the reason and it seems like it's more with our people than with anybody else because they know that we're powerful together. We don't know how to use each other. I've been married for 20 years, and I'm just now the last 5 years. I'm just now learning how to use my wife the way I should use her, not use. Y'all understand what I mean?
Got
Just
it.
like she knows how to use me as her tool the way she's supposed. I'm supposed to use her. It's like it's a system altogether. She got certain things that she's better at that she should be doing. There's better things I should be doing. You know what I'm trying to say? And at the end of the
And
day,
it's a connection. You got that connection with her, and so whatever you need to do that she's not able to do, you do that, and the vice versa. Whatever
yes, yes,
you
you find
know,
each other,
she
you cover
does
each
what
other's
she can
weakness.
do.
You cover
It's
each other's
about
weakness.
So how soon does
Yin
the
and yang, light and
how
dark.
Oh,
yeah.
how
that
Light
takes a
soon
and
while.
dark.
That takes a while. That takes a while. You gotta understand. You gotta understand. Since a girl was 13 years old, in some incidents younger than that, she had every guy that she's fucking known trying to get in her pants. So she's been fighting them off. And she went out to the real world, got pregnant, and lived that life. And she's out in the working world. She's been beat the fuck down. She's gonna have to really learn to trust somebody. That's not gonna come easy. Like I said, being 100% truthful. So that way, if anybody comes to that girl, say anything about you, she should say, "Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that." No one should go to her and tell her nothing that she doesn't know about you because you should have been 100% honest with her. And one,
hold on, what happened? Dude, put your
I
phone
don't know. I think he accidentally hit mute. Turn
take
your
your
mic
phone off
back on,
mute.
dude.
sorry, what did I leave off last?
Did you have to be absolutely truthful and know that you should be able to say if
Yeah,
anybody comes to you,
yep,
you know what you need to
yep.
know about your woman.
Yep. So somebody, because you know how people can bid people you be in relationships with or whatever, coming
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you know, something like everything she should know about. So no one should come and surprise her with nothing. She'd be like, oh, he told me that. Oh, he told me about that. Oh, so he was truthful about that. Once you start knowing that you're truthful with it, she'll start to open up. But
Got
once
it.
you gain that trust, you got to keep that trust. Whatever
That's right.
promises you made, whatever thing you made, you can make mistakes, but whatever promises you made, you better hold to those. She
Yeah.
better hold to those because she's been hurt. The only way you can break one of them promises and she still trusts you is she get to know your spirit and knows
Mm-hmm.
like this
Know
is
who
not
you are
So the
and know
promise
who
wasn't
you are.
broken intentionally.
that's right.
It was due to circumstances and
Mhm.
beyond your control at the time. But again, if you guys are working together, even things that are beyond your control within the moment, once y'all start to communicate, y'all should get back control of the reins
Mhm.
Right.
collectively.
And then after that happens, and once you have a blowout or whatever else, what people should not do, especially if you know this relationship is valuable, this is just a fucked up thing y'all are going through, you got to come back even harder. Try even
Yeah.
harder. Don't go back to the same bitch. You know what? I'm going even harder because this is valuable to me.
Yeah.
Good.
This is worth
Jews,
it to me.
Jews, Jews.
Or
Um,
separate and come back.
That's right. There
so
you go. Get your mind together and realize, you know what? We're still one. We just need that elbow space for a minute.
And
Right.
Right.
separation does not mean that you step out and start dealing with someone else. You deal
That's right.
with
That's
the
Thank you,
right.
person
David, for clarifying
that
that.
you're in the
That's right.
relationship with.
But only a boy and a girl would think something like that. If you're not a
Got
man
it.
Right.
and a woman, you don't
That's what.
Got
think
it.
that.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's a clear distinction. A man and a woman thinks different from a boy and a girl.
Yeah,
I
because
like it.
we're grown.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Gregory, let's get Gregory in this.
What
So
about the Africans that want to soak their royal?
no. Let's come
But
back and be.
that's in
That's all
Africa.
other
That's not
shit.
here.
Let's
Nah,
see.
I'm just
Let's come
playing, man.
back to
That was just a
where we
joke.
at. All right. So
Why was Sean waiting on TV?
let me say this.
Sean's at the fucking basketball game.
Tim.
We're not
Um,
talking about that right now.
Gregory, we got another video, right? Let's go to the next video.
Gotcha.
Actually, this is what I want you to do. We got like 3 more videos. Gregory, show all 3 of those back to back. Everybody mute your phones real quick. I think
Gotcha.
these are all I think they're shorts. So just show them all back to back.
Zoom meeting.
Men don't need women, women need men. Men could survive without women. If all the women disappeared tomorrow, men would be fine outside of reproduction. Women need men. If tomorrow they made artificial wombs, what would they need a woman for? Who's a better companion, men or women? So men built the world. All the hard jobs are done by men. If men disappeared tomorrow, society would collapse. Men built the world that we complain about.
Arguably, one of the driving forces for men doing what they do is women.
Is women.
I think men built this world for women.
What I'm saying is men could survive without women. Because men can be alone, women can't. Women are social beings. We need attention, and men don't. You don't see women going out to the woods and just roughing it. That's a man thing. Who's camping and fishing? It's not us. Men don't need women.
Woman that struggles to find somebody in the dating market. There is the boss bitch culture, which is the cope. Then there is the lean in, which is like the trad wife thing. There is the guy that becomes the chad and has sex with all of the women. There is the guy that retreats from that and goes men going their own way and completely recants it as well, right? So you have the push and pull on both sides. Woman that struggles to find somebody in the dating market. There is the boss bitch culture, which is the cope. Then there is the lean in.
I don't understand where the "we don't need men" argument is even an argument. But the saddest part about it is that it's women's reaction in an age where they feel like the only value that they bring into a relationship or to the world is what they can provide. They talk about how they feel like they are not born with innate value like women are. So the reaction is to tell them, no, actually, that's not so valuable because we can actually do all that stuff ourselves. It's so messed up.
Participants, what, we're in 7 right for.
So, all right, guys, everybody turn your mic back on, because we're gonna
so messed up.
dissect this message. That's the crazy part right there, what I'm talking about. You got all these mixed messages, these little hidden messages within messages, where are telling people, hey, again, this is who you should be, and this is how you should see those around you. I think that type of thinking is toxic. I mean, we just said this before we even watched the videos. Men require women and women require men. There's no us without him and her. So I just don't get it. I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I've never been a man that said, I don't need no woman, because I do. I need and I want a woman. And when I'm dealing with the woman of my choice and the woman that chose me, I make sure that I let her know all the time. I need you, I want you, I appreciate you, I love you. Because I feel like that's what they need to know. And for all that other stuff, where they're erecting walls and stuff like that while you're in the relationship with you, I feel like the thing that a man wants most of all out of their relationship is they want to be needed. They want your time. They want you to put the time into as much time as into the relationship as they're putting in. So they, again, where women are saying these days, we can do anything and everything a man can do. We are their equal. Okay, if that's the case, I keep coming back to this. How do we get to the point where we say, I can do bad by myself? Because when you're choosing a partner, you should be choosing a partner so that you guys are doing good together. You should be looking for those principles in the man and the woman that you choose. You shouldn't be choosing somebody that is going to make your situation worse. You're supposed to be dealing with someone that's going to better the relationship, not just the individual, the relationship. Kiana, I'm gonna let you tackle this first. How you feel about those videos and the messages that was being sent?
I feel something about those videos. I don't know if there's a part of me that, like the last video, And I didn't see them. I mean, I saw the middle one. You guys didn't send the link to that one. And the first one, I think they're crap. Like they're some women love to placate to men. And some women can be strong and still want a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a lot of mixed messages being thrown at people, but that's why you have to know who you are before you start dealing with people in this world. Like if you're not strong enough for somebody to tell you what they want you to be, then that's a problem.
Mm. Patsy, how you feel about them videos and the message that was being basically broadcast to the world, social media?
Like that first one with the guy, it was like he sounded ridiculous because I feel like men, like we said earlier, men and women need each other. You know, we're like, okay, yeah, men do need to feel like they're needed, which it ties down the communication thing where it kind of works both ways. Like you make me feel like I'm wanted and needed, and I reciprocate that. You know, it's like a communication things, and you know, and to me, it's like that communication can be like a love language on how you like, oh babe, I miss you or whatever, just something to or whatever, like, oh, you can go ahead and cook for them and be like, okay, boom, boom, boom. At least you're trying to meet halfway in the thing. But that last one, I'm like, that, like, how, like, women say that, oh, we don't need a man or whatever, and she's confused about what she said. I'm like, okay, we women, we might not necessarily need men where we could do stuff on our own, but we do need a man. We want men to take on some of the responsibility that we're essentially like as a single woman, single mom, if that's your situation. It's hard to be all day and having to work and take care of a child, or just it's not like extremely high, but like maybe as a single person with no children, I could take care of my bills. I could clean my house and do all this and go do the food shopping and all and cook for myself. But it would be nice to have a man around sometimes, or just to communicate back and forth and be like, I miss you, or how are you doing? You know, and if the guy is like not feeling good, well, I hope you feel better. You know, even you're not living together, it's kind of good. And I believe like a man likes to hear like,
Man, some
well, I
damn
hope
sick.
you know, like it makes them like you're acknowledging what he says about not feeling good, or I don't know if my kids are gonna do something for me for whatever holiday or something. You know, it's well, at least you went and wish them well on their birthday and stuff like that. You know? Just little things. It's like keep each other as, you know, to make that connection with each other.
The acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Tanya, how you feel about the message they're sending?
In regards to those messages, I'm gonna say this. You have to lead with your spirit. In order to lead with your spirit, you have to develop your spirit. In order to develop your spirit, you have to develop your relationship with God who gave you your spirit, so that you can become a discerner of spirits and know what's good and what's bad. You know, you gotta have eyes to see and ears to hear. And when you have eyes to see, you can see that that's nonsense. And when you have ears to hear, you can hear that it's nonsense.
Yes.
Well said, well said, well said. Timmy, how you feel about the message those videos spreading?
I think sometimes the stuff just seems like people get on there and just say any old dumb stuff without even using a goddamn brain. So I don't think any of what they say made any difference.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense to me.
All right.
Especially the dumb broad talking about something. Oh, men the only ones. There's women out there that go camping. There are women out there that go hunting. There are women out there that clean their damn fish. What the hell is she talking about? Cause she one of those pretty chick that she can't get her fingernails dirty. She's too pretty to get in the mud and all that.
A girly
You
girl.
know,
Or maybe she
that's
just
what I
hasn't been
feel her.
invited. Maybe she hasn't been invited to be a part of those type
If
of.
she do, she'll be, squawking the whole time, complaining. Oh, I can't deal with the mosquitoes. I can't deal with this is going on. You should have stayed your ass home.
All right, Gregory, how do you feel about the message? These
I think there's a dynamic in the demographic, and people really are enjoying the single life right now. Sex in the City, and you got people that go into relationships and they're not taking it serious at the beginning anyways. So they're going in thinking I'm a bachelor or I'm single right now or I'm a boss bitch or whatever the video said. So this is what's going on. And again, it's something that's being programmed into us, all the stuff that we're seeing. It's not our faults that we're falling into this, but it's definitely a plan. Like I told you, when you got scientists and researchers doing this work to make stuff go this way, and it's working. That's why it's working.
Okay. All right. Dude, how you feel about the message those videos were sending? You gotta turn your mic on. We're gonna come back to him. He probably stepped away. Robert,
Yeah, he ain't on the mic.
Robert, you with us?
I'm right here, but I can tell you right now, I had to go offline. So I did not see maybe the last video, the last two you have shown. So I wouldn't be able to answer based upon the footage. I don't know if you want to hit me with a question that was summed everything up that you guys watched.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, that's fair. So I'm going to give people a chance to address the viewers.
I'm back.
Your last listening. So,
Who's back?
all right. Everybody, here we go. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go around, and this is gonna be your final say tonight. So I basically want to know, Robert, what type of advice, coping, so these guys are able to develop some type of coping skills to deal with the situation when someone is saying to them, I can do bad all by myself.
Basically, a man or woman, if they know their worth before they go out trying to make a new home or a home for the first time, they wouldn't pretty much worried about what people have to say, because I always look at it this way. I'm gonna speak on a woman, and it's the same for a man. If you're able to pay your rent, your light bill, your gas, sometimes water, if you own your house, if you're able to go grocery shopping, pay your extra like your cell phone, your internet, your cable, get your nails done, your hair done, buy your clothing. If you have children, take care of your children. And Mr. Joe comes along. All of these things were being done before he came. You was able to maintain and still have a little extra. When this man comes into your life, if he has a job and he's able to help you pay these bills, provide food for your children's mouths and yours and his at the same time, and etc. If that's all possible, you got to remember before he came, I was holding it down. My children was just fine. I was just fine. We wasn't behind in bills. We wasn't looking for a plate of food. I was always looking fly, and so wasn't my children. What he's doing is extra. So if he decides to get up later on this evening or tomorrow or walk away from you and your children, you are going to be just fine because the word is it was just extra. And I appreciate it while you was there for the time being. I'm going to also appreciate my life when you're gone because I was holding it down, man or woman.
Well said, well said. Patsy, what type of advice would you give to any man or woman that is dealing with a situation where they're being told I can do bad all by myself, or if they're the ones that's saying it?
Well, when you get into any type of relationship, find out what their core values are. And if they have the same core values that you have, believing in God, praying, even if neither one of you go to church, at least see if you're on the baseline of being godly and having faith in God and everything and stuff like that. Good qualities of which your ideas of raising children and disciplining them if they're on the same baseline on that, and get into talk about the financial stuff, what he values in monetary with paying bills and everything. If it's like almost the same, if not very, very similar to where his ideals on money issues are and bills and rents or whatever it is that you're doing with your own a home and you're paying a mortgage or you're renting out an apartment or something. See where that financial stuff is going, and if he's not on the same page, and if he is not willing to contribute to to the financial backing of paying whatever you gotta pay, it's like get out of that situation. Don't stay in that committed relationship because it didn't work out with me, and I know for me, I like to have a good relationship where we're on the same page on everything. But don't ever give up. But don't stay in a situation where it's like I can do bad by myself. Okay, where it's a situation you're doing bad with him, there'll be somebody else that'll come along, and God will put somebody very well fitted for you.
Well said, well said. Timmy.
If you're doing bad with him, then you're doing bad. So you might as well be by his damn self.
Right.
So that's what you would give. That's the advice you would give, Timmy?
Yes.
Okay. Gregory?
I'm gonna leave you with no advice. I'm gonna leave you with a battery, AAA. Acknowledge, account, and adjust. Acknowledge the problem. Take accountability. Take account for the problem. Everybody, not accountability, because you don't want it to be on one person. And then you need to adjust the problem. It's a battery.
Well said. That's Jules. That's Jules. Tanya?
Yeah. What do I think?
Yeah, what advice would you give to someone?
My advice would be to make sure that you're equally yoked, spiritually, financially, mentally. Make sure you're equally yoked. I was married for 7 years to one person. We weren't equally yoked. We started off wrong. We ended. And then I left, and God placed, like Patsy said, put someone in my life that was meant to be in my life. We just celebrated 24 years of marriage last week.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's my advice.
Okay, well said, well said. Dude, it's on you.
Well, I'm just gonna keep it simple. To me, a home is a provider and a protector and a nurturer and a teacher.
Ooh.
And a comforter.
Yes.
I like that last part, comforter. I like that. I like that.
That's important.
Woo, we get
Not just on one part either, it's on both parts.
Yep. Duchess, what advice would you give the viewers regarding doing bad all by themselves?
I hope he's okay. Look at this. Look.
I would say that
Told you. They didn't win yet.
you have to you have to assess who means good for your life and who doesn't. And only you can determine that by being around somebody, knowing their true character, their true worth, what they believe. So I would say be mindful of the company you keep, and pray when you need to get away from somebody.
I like that.
Because people will tend to harm people when they can't control people.
Ooh, that's true.
All right. I'm gonna be brief, but brilliant. I'll just say this. Kiana touched base on this earlier in the podcast when she said you got to know your self-worth. I think that's important going into any type of relationship. You got to know who you are. You got to know what your value is. You can't allow someone else to determine or tell you what your value is. If you got someone that is basically doesn't appreciate what they have or doesn't appreciate what you bring to the table, and they're not able to bring anything to the table that's going to better your situation or better the relationship, then don't even waste your time with that situation. It's time you can't get back. And what I said, what the man wants most from the woman that they're dealing with is their time. So if this individual is not respectful of your time on both ends, be it men or women, don't waste your time. Because time is a runaway bus and it waits for none of us. This is the Still a Man podcast. Thank you. Good night.